Well. Welcome to my late night studio sessions. I only film very late, 12:36 now. So all of you night owls out there, I only film late because this window has too much glare during the day. And I just couldn't wait to tell you how to get your products on store shelves. After 8 years of owning a grocery store and another 8 years of running a different one, I saw hundreds of products come to our attention and people practically begging me to put their product on shelves. And I would say 80% succeeded. And they did these four things, which I'm going to reveal to you today. The other 20%, unfortunately, if they didn't make it into our store, we were very easygoing on what we brought in. They didn't really make it long term anywhere. So follow these four steps and you should have some success getting your product on food shelves and beyond. By the way, everyone, I wanted to thank you guys. We hit 10,000 subscribers. I never thought a guy talking about his experience in small business would reach that level. I've been doing this for way too long. I've been in small business probably for too long. But I wanted to thank you guys personally. I know that you could be watching anybody else who has, better charisma or setup than me, but you chose to watch this video, so I want to say thank you. Please like this video. So, obviously, the most difficult and the most direct approach that nobody really likes is to show up in person with your product. This one takes the most effort. If you're an introvert, it's going to be very difficult. You can bring someone who is a co-owner, even if it's just your friend, nobody knows and no one will ask. You can just play the game a little bit. Just for that comfort level, I'd suggest to bring someone if you need it. So what does this entail? You walk into the independent store, the cafe, the restaurant with your product, hopefully be able to ask for an owner or a manager, and hopefully have samples to leave with them, which you can always, have a few more for the staff, which sometimes the staff encourages the owner or the manager to take on the product. Now, you want to have you don't always need a brochure or a, huge write-up about your business, because I can tell you from being an owner and a manager, people just don't have time in the food industry to go through your documents. What I would do is bring in a sample, have a chat with the owner, share a few words, tell the story in a quick, concise way, and bring up other stores that your product is in that would likely be a similar match to their store. Tell them it's selling great at this other store, X, Y, and Z. You don't have to lie, but you can embellish it a little bit that it's selling great, even if you just got it into the store. Now, as for you're leaving anything with the owner, I will leave a card with a QR code to your Instagram so he can see exactly your trends and the stores you're in and the social buzz that you've hopefully built before going in with samples. If you want anything like that of the sort, I run a marketing agency based on solely this small business and the food industry. You can connect with me directly through email in the description below. One thing I would say to leave is a price list with suggested pricing and the owner's margin. This would really help help your product be more attractive. I know when people would bring me an item, I would always wonder the price, and I would kind of feel a little bit hesitant to ask that right away. But listen, we're all in business to make money, so I would say the first thing people want to know is how much it costs, how much can I sell it for, and a really, really big one with food as well, which I should mention, is how long does it last before it expires, because food waste is huge in this industry. So make sure you have a hopefully shelf stable product, and hopefully it lasts long, just to make your life easier. So number two, as you seen, that one's a very more direct approach. This one is more of an indirect approach that also works. You want to start leveraging your community, your local networks, such as artisan events, farmers markets, county fairs, downtown markets, anything that is neighborhood markets that allow people to set up. You need to be out there with your product, talking to consumers, talking to customers, getting social proof pictures. This is where Instagram and Facebook marketing come in huge. And then, and I promise you, I know you don't think this, you will start to meet tons of owners, cafe owners, coffee shop owners, bakery owners, grocery store owners. We are going to these events just like the general public because we want to see the new products that are out there. We're also just going there to hang out. We're a local business. We love supporting local. I can't tell you the amount of times I've been to a farmer's market and have seen 4 to 5 products that I would love to carry in our store, whether it be a hot sauce, a local honey, a kombucha, or a sourdough. And then I started talking to the owners. We connect, we share emails, and they're at my store, in the day or two after with samples and information. And just being at these markets, you connect with the community. If you're just hiding in your basement making sourdough, nobody's going to know about you. No one's going to sell your product. And that's the challenge I'm having, even with my marketing company. I'm trying to attract people to me without going directly to them. I easily could directly approach owners and, offer a free video or a free sample post for them, or maybe even getting in contact with, at a farmer's market to set up a booth. But that's something I'm working on as well. This is not easy. These are not easy. I know these are difficult, but they're simple. Like, it's very easy to go into a store. It's very simple to go into a store and talk to an owner. It's not easy because it's a bit awkward, right? It's a cold approach. But these farmers markets may be a little bit more up your alley. You want to start collaborating, right? You want to start offering your product to these owners. If you meet them at a farmers market or you go directly to them, maybe your sourdough can become a part of their menu, sandwiches at their cafe, or your jam can be part of their scones, or your fresh blueberries or strawberries can be in their muffins. I've seen this all done. Throughout the years, I've seen everything that I'm saying done. Being on the other side of the counter, I've seen this done many, many times where people collaborate. Maybe someone's, making an artisanal cheese and they use it for local pierogi. Like, these options are endless. You can connect your product with so many different businesses, especially if you're an artisan making a dessert. It can go into multiple restaurants or cafes. So test the waters. You'll know what works best after a few months, which ones are your customers and which ones are not the right fit, right? Not everyone's going to be your customer. We have to remember that our product doesn't fit every single market, every single restaurant, right? If you're selling a $10 sourdough, it won't fit at a budget grocery store. You have to know your niche. Number 3, consignment or trial offers. So consignment basically is when you offer a low risk way of getting your product. Basically, the artisan or the product owner will bring it to a store and say, you know what, I'm not going to take any money up front. Let's put it on the shelf. Whatever sells, we can charge you for whatever sells. So for example, if someone brought me 10 jars of honey, I would only pay, if we only sold 3, I would only pay for the 3. We just keep going as it goes. We just keep going like that. And consignment usually entails, if something expires, they'll take it off the shelf and replace it with something fresh. So there's really no risk to the owner. There's really no way to lose for the owner with this method. It's also nice for them because, there's customers see new products, new local products, that they're trying new things. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's the point of a trial period. Maybe you try it for a month, 2 months, and then maybe you tweak the pricing for them, or maybe you move it in the store somewhere different where it should sell better. But honestly, consignment was always the easiest way for me to go as a small business or as any business. We're watching our dollar just as much as you are. There's not a lot of money to play with in a small food business, right? So you are at the mercy of trying to get your product into a store that already has thousands of products, and you want to angle it. Maybe this is no risk. There's no way you can lose, and perhaps it'll sell and we'll both make money. We both win this way. This takes the risk off the owner of buying $400 or $500 of a product that he doesn't know if it will sell. Because it was really left a bad taste in my mouth sometimes if someone would come with a product and they'd sell me a case. I'd drop, let's say it was a case of 12 hot sauces and I would drop, $100 on it. And then they'd say, okay, bye, good luck. That doesn't really sit right with me, because if it doesn't sell, are you going to take them back, or how does this work, right? So you really want to work with your owners, with the community, with other, small business artisans, and see what's working for them. And to be honest, my area that I am currently building my business in local marketing, local social proof. So this would be creating a buzz around your product, right? Creating a social proof that this product is already selling at other stores and everybody wants to have it. Everybody's waiting for it. And if you get it in your store, it will bring in more customers. This is what you want to create on your social media marketing campaigns. Now, whether you do this between using local influencers or showing your product with customers that they're happy, enjoying it, or maybe you make engaging reels that there's people like the restaurant using your product, you want to be able to create a buzz around your product. There was products that were doing so well in my city that I was waiting for the owner to actually approach me with their product. And there were other times where I would reach out to the owners of certain products because I knew people were buying them at other stores. These are the ways that I found work best on me as an owner and a manager of a large grocery store. I just found that this was the way that I found the successful products got on the shelves and stayed on the shelves. Because if something gets on the shelves and doesn't sit, it's the first thing to go and be replaced by something else. So not only is your challenge now to get on the shelves, but you need to find a way to stay on that shelf. Whether it be, don't do this. I've seen this. There was a company that was sending in people they know just to buy their product. And it was obvious because they would buy a full case of the product. And it's a weird marketing strategy that obviously wouldn't work long term and doesn't make any sense. You're just buying your product back, maybe because you think I'll tell other people that it sells. Anyways, don't do that. Maybe I can make another video on how to keep your product moving and selling well in stores. And at the end of the day, really, if you have a good quality product, that only goes so far, right? It has to be marketed correctly for people to really catch on and start getting that buzz going that brings in leads to you. That's what this game is about, because unfortunately in the food industry, it is a low ticket game and you need to be moving volume just to be able to make a living, right? This is, you'll be making $2 to $3 a product, right? So you need to be really in a lot of stores and moving volumes to really make it to the next level. And the next level would be distribution throughout, provinces or countries into bigger stores. But I think this is the easiest way to start if you have an artisan product. So thank you for watching this video. As always, thank you for joining my late night studio sessions on the small business world.